take like first, second, or third or something?
Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're going to stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty. Welcome. Kathy, if you could do a roll call, please.
Present.
Hugh.
Present.
Galogly.
Here.
Birdbauer.
Here.
Deskin.
Here.
Bartleson.
Here.
And Cardamone is absent. We have a quorum.
All right. Our police chaplain, Ernest Jones, is in the house to open us up.
Please pray with me. Mighty Father, King and Redeemer, first I would like to say thank you. Thank you for all of your blessings. Thank you for your divine protection over our city, Father God. And we ask you today to lead and guide us today. Your word says, in all thy ways acknowledge you, and you will direct our path. So we ask you to direct us tonight. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Thank you, Ernest. All right, friendos, we got liaison reports. Let's start with Susie.
For special events, we don't really have any events until next year, but I wanted to mainly thank the sponsors. Our main sponsors were the Lockport Township Park District, the Lockport Township Government, Bentonhausen Auto, and Christopher Burke Engineering. And also thank you to our more sponsors, our Baxter and Woodman Consulting Engineers, EEI Engineering Enterprises, V3, Civil Tech Engineering, ComEd, Gary Bonner, Country Financial, the Goddard School, Sports Huddle, and M&I Homes. And this year, we had 68 local businesses that participated in various local events, including the Sweet and Savory Crawl Walk, the Lockport Annual Cookie Walk, the Holiday Window Murals, and/or the Card Guardians for the Summer Adventure of Mission 1895. And last but not least, I wanted to thank you to our partners, the Chamber of Commerce and the White Oak Library. Specifically, the White Oak Library has been fantastic with providing their facilities for the different events like Christmas in the Square. So a big shout out to the Chamber and White Oak Library this year. And that's it.
Right on. Thank you, Susie.
All right, from the police department, they would like me to extend their sincere appreciation to the generous sponsors who made this year's Shop with a Cop event a tremendous success. Through their support, local children in need were given the opportunity to shop for essential items and gifts while building positive, lasting relationships with law enforcement officers. Lockport Police Department proudly thanks the following sponsors for their generosity and commitment to our community: Walmart, American Lawmen, Dave Oxley for County Board District 5, American Legion, Midwest Tankerman, Gary Bronner from Country Financial, the Lockport Dental Group, Sports Huddle, Quick Mart Pantry, and Cravers in Lockport. The Lockport Police Department is grateful for the continued community support that allows programs like Shop with a Cop to make a lasting impact on the lives of local children and families. And if all the children could plug their ears, we'd also like to thank Darren Deskin for playing the role of Santa this year. That's all for me.
Right on. Thank you. Got anything going on, JR? All right. Anybody else down here? Going down the line?
Yes, I have something for Heritage and Architecture. We had a meeting tonight, and we reviewed the current standards for painting of masonry. And also, we discussed should murals be allowed directly on masonry. This was discussed, and in January, Lance and his team will create some guidelines for us to review.
All right. Thank you.
I just have the last announcement for our beautification recognition and winners awarded will be at City Council on February 4th. December 31st will be the deadline to submit any homes that your neighbors, yours, that you'd like to have recognized. They may be winners, and we do have first, second, and third winners that we will give a little surprise to. So please enter if you have decorated your home, And if your neighbor has, please remind them to submit 4 pictures and their address, and we will put it on their screen and recognize it on February 4th. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Joanne. JR has remembered something.
Well, I was reminded of something. Ben, would you please give us an update on City Hall and when we might be back in there?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Yes, and I want to thank the township for allowing us to use their facilities here for the last several months. The HVAC, plumbing, and lighting project at City Hall is still underway. We're expecting steel to be installed this week and the rooftop units that will create all the heat next week, hopefully by Christmas. There's still a lot of little work to do on the 3rd floor, but we are expecting to be back in City Hall for normal operations by February 2nd, Monday, February 2nd. So the January 7th and Committee of the Whole and the 21st Committee of the Whole will be here along with PZC and H&A on the 14th and 21st respectively. And we expect, hopefully we'll be getting full occupancy here before the end of January. So.
All right. Thank you, guys. All right. Tonight's one of those fun nights where we get to recognize some folks, and this is always exciting. So I'm going to go over to the podium. Now, oftentimes when we have people come out, it's often sports, kids and students, and who've just excelled within the sports arena. But tonight, along with that, we also have a couple academic recognitions we'd like to give. So Joseph and Julian, are you guys here? Julian, come on up, because I want to see your smart faces. Very cool. Now, so these two got perfect scores on an ACT exam, right? Can you even imagine that? Now, whenever we do the sports people, we make them do stuff, right? If it's a cheerleaders, they have to do, a cheerleader thing. So you guys have to do some smart stuff. So what do you got? Oh, just kidding. So tell me about your futures. Where are you guys going? What's the plan? Okay, come over here, dog in here, so everybody can hear you.
I'm still deciding, but I'm still applying to a few pretty good schools like Ivy Leagues and all that, so I'm pretty excited.
That's wonderful. Very good. Julian, what about you?
I'm also waiting to hear back from some schools, some Ivy Leagues, some not, and I want to be a lawyer.
That's great. I can't even imagine when they get a perfect ACT score comes in through the application. I mean, that's a very rare thing, and it's very exciting, and we're all very proud and impressed of what you guys have done. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. I just want to give you guys 2 certificates of recognition, which we all know will go in a drawer you'll forget about, but that's why we always give out the coveted Lockport hat, because those are cool, right? So you guys take a hat and then you guys right on, you guys. Thanks. All right, and so next we have some volleyball recognition. So the coaches, where are you guys at? I got Nick, Ken, Dan, Janice, Alyssa, Julia, Kyla, manager. Come on up so we can. Well, congratulations. Can you come over and just tell everybody like what was going on? What was the season? Tell us what you guys achieved, if you don't mind.
This year, the girls went 34-8, and they went to state for the 2nd consecutive year, finished as the top public school in the state for the 2nd year in a row. So an amazing accomplishment for the entire area. It's just a great group of girls that earned every moment along the way.
Well, and if you guys don't mind, would you like read their names and they'll come up and we'll just have them come up here and we can give everybody their certificate. So we gotta take the microphone. You got this.
Kate Nelson, Kalina Murdoch, Mary Donnelly, Michaela Marshall, Emma Consini, Olivia Priest, Mally Green, Josephine Baranowski, Sarah McGraw, Natalie Beauchantine, Maya Kivo Baker, Anna Hyam, Olivia Mayer, Hudson Timashek, Malia Cole, Quinn Hyam, Bridget Farrader, and Brooklyn Chesna.
Oh, thank you. Sarah? Let us see. Okay. Natalie? Oh, no, Natalie, okay. Maya? Anna? Olivia? They're all so tall, man. It's like. Yeah, one other name. Is Grace here? Where's Grace? Come on up, Grace. So Grace, on the 17th day of December 2025, by the City of Lockport, we recognize your NCAA Division III volleyball championship win. So well done. Bravo. Oh, yeah, wait, one picture. Ladies, thank you so much for coming out. Coach, I appreciate it. You're very cool. All right. Yes, yes. Yeah, don't you guys. Yeah, we always say we're not offended if you all leave, but you're welcome to stay.
Thank you.
I know, just like notes away. All right, friends, we'll continue on. So tonight, we'll do consent agenda. So we're looking for a motion to have a consent agenda.
Second.
All right, Joanne and Susie, all in favor? Aye. All right, so for tonight, we're looking for approval of our regular city council meeting minutes from December 3rd, our committee of the whole meeting minutes from December 3rd, payroll period ending December 7th, our bills through December 9th, Resolution 25098, which is accepting the proposals for the city's property liability insurance. There's Resolution 25103, which is the perpetual easement with Bonnie Bray Sanitary District. There's Resolution 25097, acceptance, the proposal from Civil Tech for the roadway resurfacing project. There's Resolution 25100, which is the proposal for the Basin Drive and Culvert Swell improvements in Phase 2 at Civil Tech. There's Resolution 25092, which is the proposal for concentric integration, which is the SCADA management services. And then lastly, there's Ordinance 25016, which is amending Chapter 156 of our codes pertaining to regulations for single-family dwellings and relevant definitions. So, looking for a motion to approve those.
So moved.
All right. and Jonathan and JR. All right, we'll do a roll call, please.
You got it. King,
Yes.
Pugh,
Aye.
Galogly,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Deskin,
Yes.
Bartleson,
Yes.
and Cardamone is absent, so we have a quorum, motion passes.
All right. Moving on to our regular agenda. So first thing is CD1. We're looking for approval for ordinance 25022, which is the granting of a special use permit for the gas station at 15051 South Archer, right there at 151st Street. So we're looking for a motion for approval.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All right, JR and Darren. Is there any further discussion, concerns, or last-minute things I know we've been talking about for a long time? All right, if everybody's good, then we can do a roll call.
You got it. King,
Yes.
Pugh,
Aye.
Galogly,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Deskin,
Yes.
Bartleson,
Yes.
Cardamone is absent, motion passes.
All right, next is, we're looking for a motion to approve Resolution 25110 for the municipal motor fuel tax revenue sharing agreement with, for the off-site improvements with the American Legion between the gas station. So, yes.
Question, but you did not call the resolution that's attached with that, so I thought you were doing a separate motion. There's also a resolution in that one.
I'm sorry, Resolution 25102. We'll just do it again, sorry, I just saw it buried in there. And then, so we're also looking for a motion on CD1 to approve Resolution 25102, which is the final development plans for the gas station.
So moved.
Second.
All right.
Oh, so we're doing those as separate?
Yeah, there were two
Got it.
kind of put
Okay,
together there.
So this one, second one was for 102?
Mm-hmm, yes, correct. Thanks, man, I totally didn't see it in there. Okay. All right, so that was Darren and JR, and then we'll do another roll call.
You got it. King,
Yes.
Pugh,
Aye.
Galogly,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Deskin,
Yes.
Bartleson,
Yes.
and Cardamone is absent, motion passes.
All right, so now we'll jump down to CA1. Thanks, Mike. All right, so we're looking for approval for Resolution 25110, which is the motor fuel tax revenue sharing agreement between Lucky Site, Inc. and American Legion so that we can get that water line over there. So looking for a motion to approve that.
So Mayor, I also want to point out that we did provide a hard copy. There was a few last-minute edits I just want to point out. Section 304 talks about the start date of January of 2027. We've moved that to March of 2027 just to give them a few extra months here to get started. And we were under Section 404 that the quarterly payments that we will make to them will be after we receive the funds, and there's usually about a quarter delay when we receive the sales tax in particular. So they'll get those payments at about 90 to 100 days after the first quarter. So, but other than that, everything is the same.
So I make the motion to go ahead and accept the motion with the city administrator's updates.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll amend those before they sign.
Second.
All right, so Darren and JR, any other comments? All right, then we'll do a roll call, please.
You got it. King,
Yes.
Pugh,
Aye.
Galogly,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Deskin,
Yes.
Bartleson,
Yes.
Cardamone is absent, motion passes.
Thank you.
All right. So next we have a resolution 25021, which is the special use permit for planned development. It's the rezoning of R1, R2, R3, R4, and C2. It's a resolution approving the preliminary development plan and final plat of subdivisions for the development, Phase 1, for the property located between Briggs, Farrell, Bruce, and Oak. So we're looking for a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
All right, so we got Darren, JR, and that is open and on the table now. Were there,
I have a question.
Yep.
I have a question either for Lance or Ben and possibly Mike to be thrown in there. So I was reviewing the an annexation agreement, and it was page 11 of the annexation agreement, and it talks about this preliminary development plan and 633 total units, which is exactly what we have been presented in the past. What was different in the annexation
hey,
agreement?
Darren, can you lean in a little bit? Thank you.
Well, what's different in the annexation agreement as compared to virtually any other thing, any other developments we've had in the past, it actually spells out the number of three-bedroom homes, four-bedroom homes, two-bedroom units, apartments, three-bedroom and two-bedroom, okay? So then it begs the question is, as well, what if in Unit 2, they've already built 120 one-bedroom units, and somebody only wants a one-bedroom unit? It's really far more relevant to the single-family homes and the townhomes. So since we've never really put limits on the types of developments, wouldn't it be better to go ahead and allow market, what the market is going to dictate versus, which is what we kind of were presented, versus what is in the annexation agreement?
Yeah, I guess first thing I would say is that will come under AT1 when we review the annexation agreement. But in answer to your question, I think that that would be a totally appropriate. It's the way that we've approved every other subdivision based on the total number of units, because any modification to the total number of units, our code is really tied to unit count. It's not tied to bedrooms. It's not tied to any of those types of things. And your example is probably spot on, where, in the agreement, we've only got approval for 37 three-bedroom homes. The next buyer that walks in the door, they want a three-bedroom home. They can't really say, well, no, sorry, we can only sell a four-bedroom because we filled our quota for the three-bedroom. So, Sadie Ridge, Silo Bend, Oak Valley, all of our previous ones have not had that specific bedroom component to it. So we would feel very comfortable removing the bedroom piece, but keeping the total number of units so that that doesn't change. And if there was a change to that, then that would trigger a major amendment to the plan development.
So it would be far more appropriate to make an amendment in AT1 versus
Yes.
now.
Yeah, I would say that you could offer that as a condition of your approval to make that modification.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other comments on 2551?
Yes. The R4, that is the apartments, I would like to make a condition of approval instead of changing instead of the R4, change it to a C2T, which would allow for mixed-use development for that particular area only, and that would be in the Unit 2 apartments. So if we switched it to a C2T, it would allow for townhomes, commercial, and/or apartments. And I think having that mixed-use, that zoning would allow for the developer, when it is time to go ahead and build on that, see what the market conditions are, and if there is more commercial needed at that point, we at least have that flexibility to do so, or if apartments are no longer needed, we could build townhomes instead, so at least allowing the developer to have some flexibility in that zoning. So that's my condition of approval.
Okay. What I would suggest is I do have some cards up here that we'll go through. Is there any other comments up here first before I get to hear some of that? Now, we will do this a little differently. When, we do committee of the whole, this is when we have, it's a lot more discussion time. When we do our vote night, we have 20 minutes. So I've got enough cards here that if I divide them up, it's 2 minutes. So we're going to do 2 minutes at the podium. So when we go up there, that will be the timer, and we'll keep it to our 20-minute time period. So I just want to give you a heads up. And first person is Sue Ann Curtis. So please, come on up.
Mike, Brian?
The gadget's gone. Ooh, there's the gadget. All right. Is it working? It's on. Okay. My name is Sue Ann Curtis. I've talked to you a number of times. We live at the corner of Oak and Briggs, And we've talked to about the impacts that may impact very seriously our horse farm and the people that live there. But really, we brought this up many times too, and it doesn't seem to be helping. So we've had many people come here talk about what happens. There are 800 horses within 2 miles, change in air quality, light at night. All of these things can seriously injure a horse and even kill it. And the horse industry, just in that 2-mile area, is generating about $100,000 a year in financial benefits, really, that go to Lockport and the surrounding areas. So that's what it's costing to maintain the horse. And that's not helping us either. So one thing we've talked about as we've gone through the area along Oak and down Farrell and on Bruce, what can we do to help ourselves? One thing is change the way we use our land. And one thing that was brought to our attention is we all convert our farms to pig farms and surround everything you want to build at Serenity, surround it with pig farms. Pigs are intelligent, they're smart, we can walk them around on the roads just like you do a dog. And that gives us another option, that if you're going to injure them, and maybe we can bring in, I talked to land use, I have A1 property, I can have as many pigs as I want. Dozens, 100. And if you can train them to walk, a lot of people do this. We've seen many of them make great companion horses. They actually live in houses.
Thank you, Susan.
My time is up.
Yep.
So we're
But I
trying,
hear you,
we're
and I
trying
would say
to-
that you're correct, that it's your property, and if you want to put pigs there, you can certainly put pigs there.
And that may impact what you're trying to do next door.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right. All right, next up is Bridget.
Hi there, my name is Bridget Peel. I spoke to you guys previously. I'm a veterinarian at Premier Equine on Bruce Road. Again, just coming to talk about the health impacts that this development will have on the surrounding horse farm, our business, my clients, being the people who own the horses, my patients who are the horses directly impacted by this. And I'm not going to, belabor the points that we've made in the past, echo kind of everyone else's thoughts here that the light, the noise, the air pollution, the traffic, all of those things are going to be negatively impacting the equine community in the area. But did just want to mention, of course, we had all these wonderful young people that were here today. I grew up in Lockport. I was at LTHS. I was a varsity, water polo player, was top 10%, all the, things. And it would have been great for them and their families to have stayed and to see the disappointment that your constituents here have in sort of the process going through this, and the not necessarily ignorance, but lack of inclusion of the horse community in this, the area that you guys are trying to develop here, and the impact that it's going to have on us. So to really see that local process and understand what's happening in their town, their little bubble, it would be helpful for the rest of Lockport to have seen that. So that's really all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Bridget. Next is Carl.
Good evening. My name is Carl Beveridge. I live at the same location as Sue. We've been addressing this issue for the better part of 18 years. This plan, as it's construed right now, is an abomination as far as housing density is concerned. It's concentrated in units 2 and 3 mainly, all right. Unit 1 shares a part of that, 3-story townhouses, and then apartment complexes in Unit 2. It was interesting to hear your suggestion that maybe Unit 2 be converted to other uses. That may help to deal with the density issue that this proposal has created. I urge strongly that the access point to Lotus Avenue at Oak Avenue not be constructed as part of the Unit 1 construction. There is plenty of access via the existing entrance on Oak Avenue along Fox Hollow Drive, and the exit at Briggs, and the access from Bruce Road to the north. All three of those will be brought up to snuff, as I understand it, as part of Unit 1 development. Is that correct, Lance?
I'm sorry, I don't know which one is Acorn Avenue.
Oh,
On the,
okay.
I don't believe that that is not part of the Phase 1 construction. No.
So it won't be built at this time? Correct. Great. All right, I was expecting that we would have 5 minutes to speak today, so I'll make a final plea regarding some of those things that we talked about, Lance, with regard to the trail and the surfacing of the multi-user path. Are you committing to allowing the use of that pathway for equestrian purposes? And can we reach some accord on what the surfacing of that will be?
Any commitment would need to come from the city council. What we had talked about before was that it was in the horse community's best interest to do a master plan to see how this trail actually fits within the overall context of connecting, especially community, and it doesn't connect to anything on the west, nor does it connect to anything on the east. And so, you know, I think the council would probably be open to that. I don't believe that, the council would probably be open to that. I don't believe that that trail is going to be constructed right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
But.
So there's room for some negotiation on that?
Assuming some level of maintenance obligations on the.
In the interest of time here, my last plea is to work with the Fairmont School District to deal with long-standing issues there that have gone unaddressed. They need funding, all right? They need good teachers.
And between 2011 and currently, who has come to that community? Now, if it was in such disarray, no one wanted it, there were people on the south side of Oak that possibly could have come together with our equine community and maybe subdivided it, provided a equine community, that people would have bought that instead of that. You know, a PUD, it is not fair for the people who had invested their whole lives, their dreams in a horse farm. Maybe that's not where you're at, but I waited all my life for a horse, and I had my horses boarded there, and I had boarded there, and I had my horses in training. And I was told, and I accepted the fact that this was a horse community. Now, if you want to live in an urban community, you can live in downtown Frankfurt. How many projects do you have that aren't filled or aren't done? I'm begging for the city council and the mayor to really look at this and look at the other side of South Oak. Look at the people there, the money invested. Do you realize how much it costs to
Gail, thank you. That's the 2 minutes. All right. Nuvia, please.
Hello, my name is Nubia Hernandez, and
Oh, sorry. You have more than time than that.
I spoke last time on behalf of Warehouse Workers for Justice and Lewis University, and I come again to kind of cover the effects and the impacts that this have on the environment, specifically with air pollution. I specifically want to highlight just the amount of construction that will be going on. Of course, with this many homes, we don't expect it to happen overnight. In the plan, it was promised that it would be, but in the lines of construction, that is a very concentrated spike in air pollution that is going to be affecting the residents that not only live immediately around the area, but all throughout Lockport. And this is something that we'll be able to capture and look at through the many air sensors we have in Will County, one in this very building right outside once you exit. So I just hope that whatever plans go through, whatever goes through, especially with construction, that there are things put into place to mitigate the amount of air pollution that goes on, because it has a real impact on people, specifically younger children, older adults, and any of animals that are living in the area. Things like asthma, coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, and sometimes in severe cases, heart disease, lung disease, heart attacks, and many, many other things. So I just hope that you keep that in mind when going through with any of these plans. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Nabil. Miriam? Miriam?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Miriam Salvador, and I live on 17247 West Oak Avenue. Been living there for the last 22 things, so we can earn the money and buy the piece of property that we have. He's got asthma, he's got COPD, never worked, never smoked one day of his life. So we moved out of Chicago so we could have a better life. He always was around horses when he was young. And when we bought this property, we said, okay, we can buy a couple of horses. In life, build animals. And we worked like animals when we were young to have kids at the end. And now we can't. And before you run me out of it, I'm done. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Miriam. Brent?
Brent Porfilio, Willow Walk HOA president. Thanks for letting me speak. 3 years ago, we have 25,000 people in Lockport, 10,000 housing units. In the last 3 years, there's been 6 new developments: Silo Bend, Sadie Ridge, Oak Valley Townhomes, Springs at Lockport, Serenity Landing, and of course, phases 3 and 4 in Lago Vista are still not developed. People. Saturated housing. The city utilities. Are the water wells, the treatment plant, and the distribution systems able to handle staffs? Farrell Road, we're adding another fourth after for who's paying for improvements to the schools? We're already getting taxed out of our homes. Who's paying for improvements to the schools? We're already getting taxed out of our homes. The apartments, they're Section 8 by mine. And are we incorporating crime-free housing laws for these developments? And lastly, is there any other use we've ever thought about in the last 20 years besides houses here? Thank you.
Thank you. And then Delilah? Or Delinda, sorry.
Well, I'm back again, too. Good evening, Mayor Straight and City Council members. My name is Delinda Harrod. I'm here tonight as a parent. So members, my name is Delinda Harrod. I'm here tonight as a parent. And two. Good evening, Mayor Straight and City Council members. My name is Delinda Harrod. I'm here tonight as a parent to my school community. I was going to talk about Fairmont School not being here and not being represented, but I see Mr. Shepherd has made it in. So I won't speak on Fairmont School in that sense. Fairmont School is on an upward trajectory. Enrollment growth, academic improvement, and strengthened community partnerships have taken years of intentional planning and investment. That progress should not be disrupted by development. Just this evening, Plainfield School District is meeting right now for a school board meeting to vote on reassigning students from different schools in anticipation of new housing developments. That decision is a critical difference. We are not playing field where multiple elementary, middle, and high schools make it possible to shift students when growth. Elementary, middle, and high schools make it possible to shift students when growth outpaces planning. Fairmont does not have that luxury. Fairmont, when enrollment is destabilized, there is no alternative building to absorb the impact. Decisions made here have the means for students, families, and educators. We have already seen the effects of growth pressure elsewhere. Lockport High School recently had including the addition of tents to accommodate the size of its graduating class. That is a visible reminder of what happens when enrollment growth outpaces infrastructure.
Linda, if you could wrap it up, please.
Okay, at the same time, Fairmont has been actively engaged in building positive partnerships. Lewis University has visited Fairmont, and Dr. Livingston has demonstrated a commitment to collaboration and educational continuity. These efforts reflect thoughtful, community-centered planning, the kind that should be supported, not undermined. There has also been substantial work by the College of Independent Counsel and others focused on preserving the history and integrity of communities like Fairmont across the country. Those efforts recognize that schools are anchors of stability, identity, and opportunity. The decision you make tonight may one day be questioned by our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. They may ask whether...
Linda, you're going to want to give Kenny time before our 20 minutes runs out. District had rebated, $1.3 million. And I made a comment that, it wasn't you or Dr. Daniels, it was a prior board and superintendent, but I heard that you felt like I didn't emphasize that enough. So I just want to say it was a prior board president and a prior superintendent. I wanted to make that clear for you.
Yeah,
So-
hey, I appreciate that. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Okay. Standard development practice dictates that builders and school districts engage in early negotiations to address the immediate financial impact of a new student surge. We didn't have the opportunity to collaborate with the builder on a transition plan at an earlier stage. And why that's important is, as you are aware, the City of Lockport ordinance allows for transition fees available only for capital improvements like brick and mortar, and transition fees are designed to cover the immediate gap in operational costs before the new property taxes act. People should meeting. Look, if I don't stand up for them or somebody else doesn't, there's nobody to stand for them. So I appreciate you guys listening to us, and we just want to continue to collaborate and work with you because, we take that real serious, that school district. Okay? I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate it. All right, friends. Thank you for the comments. I know these are comments that, a lot of times we've heard before. It's not the first time. And, I know Carl and Gail, you guys are correct. We've been talking for 18 years. This isn't a short-term decision. This isn't a decision that we just threw out there and rushed through. I mean, it's literally been 18 years. And you brought up the idea of having possibly bought the property. I agree with you. Anytime in 18 zoning and you could put pigs on there, then certainly. It's not for us to say, hey, wait a minute. And this property has had this residential zoning for almost 20 years. This, stop this after the roads were put in. It's part of where Brent alluded to how, there was so much legacy, a little too aggressive, when we had a problem. They have actually slow boat developed over
20 years, a little at a time. And so the schools have been able to absorb it. When this first came before the Fairmont School District a couple years ago, they were okay with it. It only recently changed their minds on that. School was perfectly fine with these numbers. You know, when it comes to talking with the developer, it's like Lance, how long have you been talking with the school district on this, trying to get them to have this discussion?
We met with them before the 2021 concept plan, so that would have been back in 2020. And then for the final development plans, we started meeting with them about 18 months ago.
I mean, with all due respect, man, we've been trying to reach out to you guys on this one with the school districts. Truth is, you'll still get almost $1.5 million up front. There's $2.5 million annually from the property taxes when they come in. And I understand there's some gaps, but some of those, it doesn't mean every house has a student. It's like when Redwood came in, that was a huge windfall for the Fairmont School District, and I think there's 3 kids came out of it. So there are those things that have happened that have added to the school district without any children. Hopefully agree with approval upon condition of a C2T change in the corner lot. Does that seem reasonable to everybody?
Yes.
Any? No? Okay, so that seems
The
okay.
one suggestion I would have for that, related to that, given that the current plan has apartments in there, in the C2T, multifamily is a special use. So we would ask if that is a request for the change, given what is currently on the plans, that be changed to a permitted use as opposed to a special use, because in essence, it would be permitted as a part of this, but if we change the zoning, then that would become a special use.
Okay, so how do you want me to word that request then?
So to be C2T with an allowance for the multifamily to be a permitted use as opposed to a special use.
Okay, got it. So everybody understand, that all good then? All right.
Okay, so just to make sure we're both here, I'm asking Mike. So there's been one addition, which is a C2T, which is an addition to my,
Discuss that on AT1.
Okay,
Because
all
that's the actual annexation.
That's fine. So then, at the moment, it's just the C2T.
Yes.
so since it was my motion.
You just brought it up.
No.
Oh, was it?
We have
Okay.
a motion and a second.
Who seconded? Oh, but where the house, with the. Yeah, but that was not you didn't make a motion to do the bedroom question.
No, it was in discussion.
Yeah,
During discussion, Susan brought up the C2T.
yes.
So now we have asking the city attorney, the parliamentarian.
The appropriate way to handle it would be for someone to make a motion, it could be you, Alderman, or it could be anyone else, to amend the stated motion to have Unit 2 be amended from R4 to C2T, and then, as Lance mentioned, and to allow multifamily in that C2T as a permitted use. And then you would vote on the amendment to the motion. If that carried, then you would vote on the underlying motion as amended.
Lucian, then we're looking for a motion to approve 20. So,
They are broken up, but the way that Granicus packages it,
all right. All right, so looking for a motion then to approve 25.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All right. Any further discussion? I think we got it now. So we'll do a roll call. This is on 25-101.
Okay. I'm sorry, who made the motion and seconded?
I second Darren and then the.
Okay, thank you. All right, ready for the vote?
Please.
Yes, okay. King,
Yes.
Pugh,
Aye.
Galogly,
Yes.
Bergbauer,
Yes.
Deskin.
Yes.
Bartleson. Yes. Motion passes.
All right. So now we're looking for the motion to approve 5104, which is the amended and restated annexation agreement and development agreement for Serenity. So, for that motion.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Darren?
I'll second it.
So, you have to have this many and this many and this many, okay? And we've never done that in the past, to my recollection, where we're dictating the types of units.
For the number of bedrooms.
The number of bedrooms in the types of units. Okay, so, do we have to hold them?
It'll be this many number, you could leave that language in there and say, however, that will be subject to market conditions, but in no instance shall the number of total units exceed the 633 number, or whatever that total number is, without coming back to this C2T idea that we had. They wanted to suggest as few changes as possible to give the city council the best likelihood to approve a plan they had pretty much already approved before. As we've been talking through the, alderman's concerns, and we've talked with the developer, my understanding is that flexibility would be beneficial to everybody. Just like the C2T amendment was beneficial to everybody as a potential. So that was my understanding. If Lance has a different one.
All right, well, I understand why they don't want to change it. I was just trying to understand the original thought by having it in there to begin with. As Darren pointed out, it's never been in any other subdivision, so I was curious.
I believe that the developer's attorney had put it in there, because we go back and forth between the developers as we negotiate out the annexation agreement, but they hadn't sure, and so that is the, looking at trying to not being held to a certain number of.
So nobody really knows, but that's fine. So if it's a matter of, nobody really knows, but that's fine. So if it's a matter of, well, I guess it's just open. You guys, how do you feel about it? So I got to Darren remove it? Remove, you guys. So I got to Darren remove it? Remove, you guys. Okay. So then, we're looking.
The motion on the floor, so you would just, as, with the removal of the number of specific 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom units, just with the removal.
So, please and thank you, Kathy.
We had a motion open on the floor.
Now it's been amended. Now we vote on the amendment, then we vote on the motion.
Okay. Not following. All right, so who made the motion? Question and second. Thank you. All right, roll call vote. King?
Yes.
Pugh?
Aye.
McGillogly?
Yes.
Bergbauer?
Yes.
Deskin?
Yes.
Bartleson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, so that was for our amendment. Now we'll vote on the original resolution with that new voted on amendment added to it. So now we're looking for our amendment. Now we'll vote on the original resolution with that new voted on amendment added to it. So now we're looking at 104.
Okay. King?
Yes.
Pugh?
Aye.
Galogly?
Yes.
Bergbauer?
Yes.
Deskin?
Yes.
Bartleson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Next is AT2, so we're looking for a motion for approval for Resolution 25108. This is approve intersection improvements at Bruce and Oak.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second, but it is Briggs and Oak.
Mayor,
Oh,
just a
did I
comment.
say Bruce? Oh, sorry.
He wrote it down.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. Mayor, just a comment.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they kind of go parallel.
Agreement because it's between the city and the county, not the developer. The memo says Bruce, that's a typo by me.
Yeah.
The agreement is correct where it says this would be an agreement for the intersection of Oak. And so we're seeking approval of Resolution 25108 for the intergovernmental agreement with Will County for Briggs and Oak.
Yeah, okay, very good, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so we had a second and a, who, was it was it JR and Darren? Did you guys both do it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Is there any thoughts, concerns on that?
Des-
Joanne? Think about JR, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll take 5 as Kathy gets her stuff together, and then we'll do committee of the whole.
We're going to take a pause so we can get those.
Get all those,
straight.
okay.
And then we'll regroup.
I know what he's asking.
what I'm confused in is so, because I have to do the original motion as amended, right?
So there are priority motions that
Okay, so it is the annexation. So now that we're done there, okay, okay. Thank you, everybody, appreciate the time. It's a little different.
no one likes the answer on that because that's a three-step process. So that's what you're supposed to do.
Committee of the Whole roll call. King.
Present.
Pugh.
Present.
Galogly.
Here.
Bergbauer.
Here.
Deskin.
Here.
Bartleson.
Here.
And Cardamone is absent. We have a quorum.
First up is looking to appoint someone to fill Pat's vacancy. I mean, it's still such a blow, and it's been awful, and it's been a difficult time. Pat was a friend of mine, and I know he was a friend of many up here. But it still falls upon us to move forward and fill a seat. And I had asked Robin Liff if she would be willing to fill out the remainder of the term. Known Robin a long time, and of course her husband Ron, and just great people, love the city. I mean, Robin is involved in everything from laughs to the chamber, and you'll see her running around all kind of places at Old Canal Days helping. Just always really puts her shoulder to the wheel for Lockport, and I appreciate the fact that she always laughs at my jokes, right? It's number one qualification, and but always puts her shoulder to the wheel for Lockport, and I appreciate the fact that she always laughs at my jokes, right? It's number one qualification, and but I was putting Robin on the council here at the next council meeting. We all good with Robin on a consent? Okay, thank you very much. Next, we're looking for Evan 1. Lisa, you got a budget amendment you want to talk about?
Yes, so for the 2025 fiscal year that we're just wrapping up, I have a couple of budget amendments I need to make. They're all within the TIF fund. They really talk about three different things. One is it was already approved by council, the work that was done at the 1728 South State Street. We had a grant that helped us to remove some underground storage tanks, and we had additional expenses that we incurred. So purchase of the Delwood Tire site at 701, 709, 711 South State Street. We need to be able to account for the purchase of that property, which we used reserves for. And then we received additional, when we get that in revenue, is 28% of that new revenue has to go back to the taxing body to amend the expenses to be able to account for those. So it's really three things that affect packets. Any questions?
Okay. All right.
Then I would be looking for consent if possible.
All right, we good with that?
Oh,
Everybody
actually,
all
you
right?
know what? We have to vote on that one, right? The budget has to, I'm sorry, it has to be an action item.
Action it is.
Approved the budget as an action. Yes, sorry about that, action.
All good. Resolution MOU with Main Street and the Illinois State Museum for shared costs. So, Ben, you want to talk about that?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, the resolution 25105 is an amendment of an existing MOU we have with the state of Illinois and Main Street and DNR and the city of Lockport for a shared cost for the museum here in Lockport and at 201 West 10th Street. This really is an 18 months extension to sync with the state's request, and the city does budget the $6,000 annually to help with their operational support. And the extension is in your packet. I'm happy to answer any other questions, but consent's fine.
Okay, so this just syncs it up with the state. Okay, all right. Any concerns or questions on this one?
No, I think it's a good idea. The museum brings people from all over the world, and we get people from all over the world for what a $6,000 contribution. That's pretty good.
Concur. All right, friends, we good with consent?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, CA2, what else you got, Ben?
Thank you, Mayor. With 11 states, date is about 8 at the video. We're looking to extend it another year.
Okay. And I think, you know, the fact that we use the video and that a good number of the video game vicinity, it makes sense. They're kind of using their own funds that they generate for it. So it's been good. Any
I just have a question that came up while you were talking. So if somebody were to have a wedding, do they contact
Usually if they're having a wedding at, say, Embers, the manager, Nick, will reach out to me and say, hey, I'm having an event this date. Perhaps the city event planner or the gal from the Roxy may call me and say, hey, we're having a big concert on. Usually it's around the same days. They might ask to start earlier. We're having a big concert on this date. usually it's around the same days. They might ask to start earlier in the day, or, so we've used some flexibility. It happens, 6 times a year maybe or so, where there's some additional events that weren't planned on a Wednesday night or something like that. But for the most part, it's not too much of an additional charge. It's just the covering the hours for 2 people to work out there.
All right.
And-
Anything
and
else?
Keep under budget, so, yep.
Waiting for you outside.